Hello, personal finance students. I'm Mrs. Pryor, and I'm coming to you virtually today to tell you about something known as the financial fair. So to answer your first question, yes, this is required. This will be a 100-point project grade or whatever your teacher has decided, but it is a large point value assignment that you don't want to miss. So let me explain a little bit more about the financial fair, which hopefully will answer all of your other questions about it. The financial fair will take about one period of your day in the afternoon of Wednesday, October 27th. In the past, it took most students between 30 and 45 minutes to complete the entire simulation. You'll be excused from either your 6th or your 7th hour that day in order to go to the school library to complete the simulation. If you run over your hour on time, you'll be excused until you're finished. So in that way, it operates sort of like a field trip. This will be the second year Progressive Ozark Bank has hosted a financial fair for us. They were not able to come into the building last year, but before that, the year before, we had great success with it for 2 different times during the school year. So Progressive Ozark Bank is a local bank headquartered in Salem with 6 branches in the south central part of Missouri. And they've done a lot of work to put this together for you because they believe in the financial education of young people. And so on the day, the bank employees, as well as some local business people, will be set up at different stations throughout the library, different booths. And you'll be assigned a specific time to come to the library, and you'll be directed to visit each station in a particular order. The stations will include things like renting an apartment, buying a car, choosing insurance, purchasing appliance, furniture, setting a clothing and entertainment budget, selecting a pet, just to name a few. You can even choose to complete the simulation with a roommate of your choosing. The roommate has to be another current personal finance or online personal finance student, and you must be in the same session, either the 6th hour or the 7th hour session. You'll find a plethora of choices at each booth, so hopefully you'll be able to select the options that are most like what you really hope to have after high school, or after you finish your education or training in your chosen career path. You might be a little skeptical still at this point, but from my experience, students have a good time and usually learn things they didn't know before about the actual costs of adult bills and decisions. And that's the point. It's supposed to be eye-opening for you, but in a low-risk setting where none of you are actually going into debt. So on that day, when you arrive at the library, you'll be handed your personal budget sheet. On it, you'll find your job title, your monthly paycheck amount, your monthly student loan payment if you have chosen a career that requires college, a starting balance in a savings account, and also a starting balance on a credit card. All of those numbers are based on what you choose as your future career. For example, if you've chosen to be a psychiatrist, then you'll have a student loan debt based on 6 to 8 years of college. And if you were to attend college for that long, you would almost certainly have to open a credit card in order to have an emergency fund or pay for extra expenses. For another example, if you have chosen to be a welder, then you will have far less student loan debt since you will probably attend a trade school using your A+ grant money, and you'll only attend for 1 to 2 years. In this case, your credit card balance will also be far less than the psychiatrist. I encourage you to choose the most realistic choices for you as you visit each booth. Don't be afraid to buy a brand new car if you really think that's what you will want, fresh out of training or college. The worst that can happen is you'll get to the end of the simulation and learn that you really didn't have enough money for it. It's far better to learn those lessons now in a fake simulation than with real money and debt once you're an adult. The whole point of the simulation is to give you a reality check about how much your adult life will cost and how far your paycheck will go. It may show some of you that your chosen career won't give you the lifestyle you want. So what's the end goal? After visiting all the booths in the simulation, you want to still have at least a little bit of money left over at the end of your month of bills and expenses. Even $1 is fine. There will be bank employees and your personal finance teachers available to help you add everything up at the end. If you happen to come out in the red, as we say, meaning you have a negative balance at the end of your month, you'll need to do one of 2 things. One, go back and make a different choice somewhere that costs less money, or 2, get a second job, which is a separate booth you may visit at any time. If you have other questions about the financial fair simulation, you may direct them to me at amber.pryor@salemr80.org, or you may ask your personal finance teachers. Right now, I need you all to access the financial fair pre-survey that your teacher has posted on Google Classroom. And let's look at it now. Okay. Looking at the first question, what career do you want to have? This is where you'll write your dream job, where you may want to be an electrical engineer, a pediatrician, a general contractor, or a superintendent of a national park. Second, how much education will you have to have after high school in order to have that career? Is this a job you can begin right after high school with no additional training? Or if it requires college, how much college? You may have to look this up online if you didn't already find it in your career exploration unit. Number 3, when you finish your education, what job will you have within your field? Remember that you're just starting out. You may want to ultimately be a partner in a law firm, but what type of legal job will you realistically be able to get fresh out of school? Will you realistically be able to be the boss in your dream career field right away? Or will you more likely have to be the low man on the totem pole and work your way up the ladder to bigger and better things? This question is asking for the realistic first job you will have within your field right after education. Even doctors don't start practicing right after college. They must do residency for a few years. So that is the job and the income we'll be working with during the simulation. If you're not sure what is a realistic starting job for your career field, Google it, do a bit of digging, or ask someone you know in that field. Number 5, what will be a realistic starting salary for that job in Missouri? So once you've decided what your starting job title will be, look up starting salary for that job. You can find this information most likely on the Missouri Connections website, and I'll go there now. This is assuming that you are logged in. Hopefully it doesn't ask me to log in again. And let's say I want to be a graphic designer. I'm going to type in graphic designer in the search. It's going to make me log in again. Sorry, I was not logged in. Graphic designer, here we go. And you're looking down here where it says occupations. And then it will show me graphic designers as an occupation. It takes a little bit to get there. Now I'm on the main graphic designer website or page, and I'm going to scroll down here where it says wages. These are going to show me in Missouri the wages that I might expect in this field. So I'm looking at just the Missouri and the bottom 25%, which says $38,000. So median is $49,000. That may be what you expect to make in this field eventually, but we're focusing on the starting salary. So in this case, I would put $38,340 in this amount right here, in this answer right here. Next, if you want to complete this simulation with a roommate, please write their name here. Remember that your roommate must be another personal finance student. They may be in Ms. Rogers' class, Mr. Barnes' class, or taking online personal finance, as long as they are currently enrolled in personal finance during this semester. And if you write their name, they must also write your name on their form before I will place you in the same session on purpose. So let them know, or talk to your friends and come back to the survey tomorrow. Last question, if given a choice, which class hour would you rather miss for this simulation? If you're currently taking personal finance or online personal finance during 6th hour, I will place you in that session. If you're currently taking it 7th hour, I will place you in that session. So that's the session that you should choose here. But if you're taking it any other hour of the day, I'm asking you if there's a particular class hour that would be easier for you to miss. If you know you can't afford to miss a college class, math class, speech, etc., then this is your chance to let me know. But remember that this is a required assignment, so you must miss one of them. Choose the best one. Please get the survey filled out no later than Friday so that I can get this information to Progressive Ozark Bank and they can begin working up your individual budget sheets. And again, if you have any questions at all, send them my way.